This is game number, do I have this right? Is this game number 114?
Correct.
Game number 114 tonight. Okay. There's only what, 48 of these left. You got to get over 500 or you can't have this conversation. You know, the part of the story that nobody wants to talk about right now is the Diamondbacks and Padres are just as hot as the Giants. And so, they're, like Steiny said, they're not gaining any ground. It's great that they're 7 of 9. They haven't gained any ground.
Yeah, no ground.
So, like, I don't know, man. You got to win at least 6, 7, or 8 over 500 by the end of the year to even think about having a shot at this. So that's just kind of the way that my brain is working with this. And I think it fits with Robbie saying, like, okay, one day at a all right, fine, one day at a time. Then wake me when you get to 500.
Exactly.
And hopefully that'll be, when we
in
go
about 5 hours.
When we go to bed tonight.
Exactly. And, the last time you were above 500 was May 29th. So it's been since May 29th.
What was their record?
29 and 28.
God, I don't even remember them being over 500 that late in the year.
You lost to Philly. You were 29 and 27.
Okay.
You lost to Philly to dip to 29 and 28. Then you lost to the Yankees 3 in a row, and you have not been above 500 since. You've sniffed it a few times, 33 and 34. And I see there's a 44 and 45 that I'm seeing after a win over Cleveland, and then you promptly lost the next 2 in Cleveland. And then since then, you haven't even sniffed it up until 55 and 56 off a no-hitter, and then you promptly lost the next game with Kyle Harrison pumping it at 89, which, I mean, maybe that's something that we can talk about as we get deeper into the week about best rotation in baseball, even though Kyle Harrison is now starting to look a little tired as we're getting deep. And he's at a career high in innings.
Sure.
And Hicks is at a career high in innings. Birdsong is at a career high. And so, you're asking for your best rotation in baseball to really stand up over the final 8 weeks.
Do you know what's going on in this game later on tonight? Do you know about the pitching matchup here?
No, please explain.
Do you know what's going on?
No.
Okay. This is why.
Please explain.
In baseball, I don't ever want something to sound like a must-win.
Oh boy,
it just doesn't. No, it doesn't work
You're
like
trying
that.
To tick me off.
No. It's not that it's a must-win. It's that it would sort of. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it would be a beyond embarrassing loss, and here's why. The San Francisco Giants not only have ace Logan Webb on the hill with a chance to go 500 against a bad baseball team. Many of you may have known that. Do you know that the starting pitcher for the other team has led the league in losses 3 years in a row?
3 in a row?
In a row. And this year is 2-11.
Oh, man.
His ERA has been over 5 4 years in a row, and 1 year it was over 6. The only reason this guy hasn't been cut is that back in 2019, he went 14-7, came 11th in the Cy Young Award race. That was coming off of an All-Star year. He's a 2-time All-Star. He had a very big contract because of all that performance, and then he hit a wall. He went, I'll give you golf reference. Mm-hmm. He went Ian Baker Finch.
Oh, no.
He went David Duval. He was great and then awful and never got it back.
I'm looking at it right now.
His name is Patrick Corbin, and he is the most awful thing that's happened to starting pitching since the pandemic. I don't say that to be mean. The numbers are stunning.
I'm just looking at his record the last 4 years, and I know wins and losses are a little bit arbitrary, but
wild.
The last 4 years, he's 27-61. He's lost 61 games in the last 4 seasons and counting.
And these are his ERAs the last 4 years.
Yeah.
5.82, 6.31, dipped all the way down to 5.20 last year.
Bounce back.
And now he's up to 5.88 this year. He is consistently awful. He is not good. You have to win the game tonight. Logan Webb against Patrick Corbin? I mean, this is one-on-one, this is LeBron James against his son.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
No, and man, you don't
this is a joke.
And you don't wish injury on anyone, but if you're a Washington Nationals fan, you're probably wishing injury on this guy. Mark, he doesn't miss a start.
No.
If you go back to Arizona, starts 32, 33, 33. He started 11 games in 2020. They only played 60 that season. So he didn't miss a turn. He might have missed one turn. 31, 31, 32. He does not miss games. This guy pitches every 5 days and pitches badly every 5 days.
So, and he makes $25 million a year.
Boy.
And that's why he is during this 4 year, he got a 4 year, actually he got a 6 year contract worth $140 million. But it was backloaded. So when he was good, he made 12 mil and then 7 mil. Okay. Then what was remaining on the deal? He goes 24 mil, 23 mil, 24 mil, 25 mil, all to lead the league in losses every year, all the years. It's actually a wonder they're still trotting him out there because now he's in the last year of his deal. So, just let him go.
Well,
but you're Washington and you're trying to lose. So they're like, we love this guy.
Exactly. MVP.
Ownership's like, this guy's a draft genius. He's going to help us get a good pick. So you have to go win this baseball game.
Right.
This is a stupid baseball game.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
And this is the kind of series that you should absolutely win. And I talked about just last week, I was saying, just win series. Don't worry about the standings. You win series after series after series. And then 500, being an above 500 team will take care of itself. And then ultimately, if you wind up with 87 wins or whatever the number might be, if that's not good enough, well, at least you went on a run and you gave it a good shot. Even if you fall short, you just can't fall short and be 79 and 83.
No, I don't. Yeah, I agreed. Again, there's got to be something. And yes, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on here. I'll grant you. I think two things can be equally true. I think that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors and, criticism of the way Farhan Zaidi has put this together and certain things that he said in a public space. These things can all be bad. At the same time, Farhan this year is taking the brunt of the criticism for stuff that he didn't do. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. He went out and spent a bunch of money in the offseason on moves that were roundly applauded. Roundly applauded. And then when Jorge Soler can't hit a curveball and Blake Snell can't keep his adductor together and all of these things happen and Jung-Hoo Lee runs into a wall, now everybody's like, well, you idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hang on a second. And I will admit, he doesn't handle that well. He doesn't. He does not handle the room well. He's not great in front of a microphone. And so this criticism starts getting piled on him. And the problem for the Giants is, at a certain point, PR takes over. You are a public entity. You are an entertainment entity. And so fan opinion doesn't drive the bus, but PR is a big part of this. And so the Giants at the end of the year, what the ownership needs, what Farhan needs in order to keep his job, is for people to not be furious at the end of the year. 79 wins will make you furious unless Luciano, Fitzgerald, Ramos, boom, everybody's popping. If they're popping and losing, okay. Or the reverse can be true, which is you rally, you win 86 games, and you're the third wild card team, or you're close to it going into the last weekend. You need one of those things. If it's just an angry mob, then they're in trouble.
Exactly.
They're in trouble.
And I think that is going to be what the majority of people are feeling if this team doesn't make the playoffs, or if this team doesn't make the playoffs, particularly if they turn out to be really bad. I do think that if you wind up at 87 wins, and you know what, Arizona and San Diego and Atlanta held on, and you just happen to miss by a little bit, it might be a little bit different, but I do think that where this is heading, this becomes a big series, and then Detroit, again, also big. These are teams you should beat, And I know that the should beat teams haven't always gone your way, but this is the time where, as you like to say, it's time to boogie. It's time for this team to show that they're a real wild card contender, or we can just all tune out and get into Niner football.
Okay, I agree with you, though, because 87 wins would mean 75 losses, right? So 87 wins would mean that they go, 31 and 18. The rest of that's really good baseball.
That's really good. That's so winning you're just talking, about every series.
You're talking about a team that's crushing it the rest of the way. And I do think people would be calmer if you miss it by one and you won 80s, but you played great for the last 2 months. Yeah, people would be chill, I think.
More chill
enough.
Yeah, and it's just a question of what the Johnsons would be as it pertains to Farhan Zaidi and 2 years left on his deal.